Now, I wish this was not as frequent of a thing as it truly was, but to be honest with you, I'm starting to realize that this is the most common experience for most individuals who are finally bringing their dream into reality. For anybody who is going towards the thing that they love most, who is creating a path for themselves in this life and doing the things that nobody else in their family ever did, or nobody did to a certain level, you will find yourself in a place where the people that you love most, the people that you believe were your support base, those that have maybe been for you in other places in your life. Maybe when you went to school, they supported you. And when you got out of jail, they were the first ones there with signs saying congratulations, right? The people who are there every other step of the way, all of a sudden are no longer supportive once you decide to bring your dream into fruition. And now this may show itself in a multitude of different ways. Maybe it's just an outright, they tell you that whatever you're doing is a bad idea and you shouldn't do it and you should do something else, or be more realistic, that nobody has ever done that in your family. Maybe it's outright, but for a majority of us, it's those internal aspects. It's the non-support. It's the non-response, right? You tell somebody that you're excited about something, somebody that you love, and they tell you, oh, okay, that's cool, or no response at all. In most cases. And you think to yourself, oh, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? So maybe you explain to them, this is my vision and this is what I really look to do. And I want to do this and to become wealthy and to help people and to get our family to the next level. And the more and more you explain it, the more distant those individuals become. Now, once you get to a place where you're actually taking steps towards that vision or towards that dream, you will start to see this even more and more within your personal experience. I'm not looking to get you in a mindset that you're jaded. I'm just, again, pointing out a part of the process of finally pursuing the things that you truly desire, or attracting the life that you truly desire to you. When you're in that space, you're going to start to find a mix of energies around you. And a lot of that energy, especially from those closest to you, those who've always known you, those who grew up in your neighborhood, maybe old friends, family members, etc., is that of a subtle envy. I'm not saying everybody is jealous, but envy. Envy is seeing somebody and desiring what that person has, whether it's ambition, whether it's mindset, whether it's physical things, right? There is an unconscious or subconscious level of, I wish I had that. I wish I had that type of mentality, that type of drive. I wish I had that type of ambition. I wish I wasn't so afraid and could go after the things I want to go after. And so what happens is there is a subtle stripping away of support. And in the stripping away of that support, some individuals believe that if I don't support this person, if I don't like their picture or share their post, then maybe it's going to keep them within our same circle. Maybe it's going to keep them here so I'm comfortable. They are hoping that you do not continue to trigger their insecurities of feeling as if they're not good enough or not worthy of their own dreams. That's what's happening. So when you see somebody who's close to you and you wonder why they're not supporting, it's because they have a feeling within themselves, which is based on a foundation of insecurity. That is, if this person becomes who they say they're going to become, it's going to look bad on me. It's going to look terrible on me because I came from the same place, the same circumstances, and my excuses aren't going to hold up. Or even if my excuses do hold up and people feel sorry for me and I tell the story of why I couldn't do the things that I truly wanted to do and I blame everybody else, even with that, this person is still a reminder of everything that I believe I am not. And so you find that in the place that you are, like even Jesus talked about a prophet has no place within his own home city, or no place to lay his head in his own home city. What he was essentially saying is what many of us who are pursuing something outside of the traditional path have experienced, which is the people around you not understanding. They're not getting it. Or them having this reflection of, man, you came from where I came from. You think you're better than us. And again, once you start to get the physical attributes of success, sometimes it gets to overdrive, right? Before family members start coming asking you for money and things of that nature and asking you to, put a loan in for their business or pay 6 months of their rent that they'd have missed on or whatever it may be, what you will usually find is that once you are in that place of now showing the fruit of success, maybe you done got the house that you said you wanted to get, those people would start to, poke at you and maybe remark at the things that you have, saying, oh, you think you're better than us, or, you forgot where you came from, or even trying to remind you, don't forget where you came from. Like, I am not a fan of that phrase. People say, don't forget where you came from, as if you didn't work so hard to get to the place that you are. Like, yes, I understand. Humility is absolutely crucial. But what they want you to do is keep your eyes fixated on them. Because when it was fixated on them, there was no, oh, don't forget where you came from. If you were giving them money, they ain't talking about don't forget where you came from anymore. If you gave them $100,000, there is no complaint. But because they feel as if they're going to get left out or left behind in that process, that's what brings about the greatest level of insecurity, or it triggers their already existing insecurities. And so the message here is very simple for anybody who is, a dream chaser, a dream attractor, really. That's really what we are. We're dream manifestors. We're dream attractors. For anybody who is in that experience and in that process and is taking steps towards that, I'm going to tell you this about support of those around you. You don't need it. That's right. You do not need the support of those in your inner circle, those who love you most, in order for you to become successful. As a matter of fact, most of the most successful individuals in society in, let's say material, did so against or in spite of their family support, in spite of their inner circle support, in spite of their community support. At first, it was actually resistance within their own household or within their own community. They had to literally claw, fight, scrap just to hold on to their dream in the very beginning, because nobody truly believed in it, right? Now, again, you have rare cases where you might have a mama or daddy who continues to build a self-esteem in that child and say you can do anything and truly backs that up continuously. But in most people's situation, it's the complete opposite. Parents can even be jealous of the children. It happens all the time. And so again, we find ourselves thinking that we need that support in order for us to succeed, when in reality, you do not. In most cases, it's going to be the people outside of your household, people you've never interfaced with before, especially in this generation. It's people that I've never met before that are the most supportive of my journey. People that I've never seen face to face, people on the other side of the country or the other side of the world who are more supportive than the people who share my very own blood. And I started to realize that it's not just okay, that's actually a beautiful thing. I'm so thankful and so appreciative of that, because if I just stayed within my little family nucleus, I probably would have gone no further. I wouldn't have reached out to the rest of the world, because I would become content or satisfied in just being small and keeping it here, right? People would continue to pat me on the back and say, stay where you are, you're safe here, we love you so much here, this is as big as you'll go, so just keep it here. They would have perpetuated that message that would have kept me in those confines of my small environment. When all of us are made for grander and greater things, and the only way that we're going to tap into that, the only way we're going to start truly walking within our divinity, within our power, is when we expand past our natural-born environments, our natural-born mindsets, those programs and the conditioning that we had at childhood. When we expand past those, that's when we start to step into something that is absolutely world-changing. And so when you are in that position and you are heartbroken and you had expectations of people supporting you and being behind you and backing you, maybe giving you some money, right? There's a story of, there's a rapper, I think his name is like Nato Wick. He's a big time rapper in the rap industry. I don't really listen to that music anymore, so I don't know everybody in the game anymore. But what I do know is he had a story of, he asked everybody in the group text in his family, can you send me $100 each? And I promise you, you guys will get like 100-fold or 10-fold. I don't know what he said, but he said like, you guys going to get a interest on your investment. I'm about to make it in this rap thing. And I believe he said he got no responses. Like nobody said anything in that group text. Maybe a sister or mom or something like that ended up sending him $100, but nobody else. Out of hella family, nobody sent him any money. Then not too long after, maybe less than a year after, he blows up, becomes one of the biggest artists, has a #1 hit, Lil Baby, this person, that person, Future collaborating with this kid. And now everybody in the family who was in the group chat wanted to get some money out of him, even though they weren't willing to put down $100. They wanted $100,000 from him. And they were now calling him selfish and saying he's the type of person who, forgets where he came from, etc. Like, imagine that mentality. So that's why I say to you, you don't need those people's help. Even him in that situation, he thought he needed everybody's help and he thought he would get it. But when he realized that, okay, first I'm not going to get it, but then do I actually need it? Once he realized like it was in him, that the power was bestowed within him, that he had authority over his life, he moved on that power. And then, so you think that you need money, and the reason why you're not successful or you're not stepping into your dream is because you don't have enough money. Guess what? Most of the biggest brands, the biggest businesses, the biggest personalities, they start out with $0 in their pocket. And their creativity is what attracted their money. The value they put out into the world is what attracted their money. You don't get money and then. Money attracts to the value that we put out into the world. So if that's an excuse, scratch that. And now support. I just need people to support me around me. No, you don't. The only person you need to believe in you in the very beginning is you. Whether if you're in the NBA or whether you're in the NBA or you're somebody getting an Oscar one day, right? In the NBA or an Oscar one day. You were the first one who believed in your basketball skills. Maybe there were people around you. Maybe a coach saw something, etc. But you had to eventually buy into you to make it to the NBA. If you won that Oscar, you had to believe in your acting prowess or have a vision for yourself as an actor who was worthy of an Oscar to eventually get to that place. Therefore, no matter who did or did not support you around you, eventually you had to buy into you. And so that's the message for today and for the rest of our natural born lives, is we have to cultivate that inner belief within ourselves. And we can only do it by continuing to repeat that we are worthy, by changing the belief system that we are not worthy or not deserving of these things into one that we are deserving, because we are, because it is the truth. It's not a lie. The alternative is the lie. The belief system that we don't deserve these things is a lie. I'm not saying you're entitled to it, that somebody needs to give it to you or you take it from somebody else. What I'm saying is you create it, you attract it and manifest it because there is abundance in this universe. There's more than enough for everybody to have some and more. Therefore, it is your job and your job only to go into this world, to go into life and to show the world your belief, and the world has to buy into your belief. Life buys into you only after you buy into yourself. If you believe so much in the thing that you have, it don't matter who thinks it's whack. You could have a song that everybody thinks is whack. And this happens all the time. And if you don't know what whack means, by the way, which means everybody thinks it's terrible. Let me use that word, right? Vernacular. So sophisticated vernacular. If everybody thinks your song is terrible, but you believe in that song more than anybody else, you will put that song out and the universe will find a way to make that a #1 hit. I guarantee it. It has happened more than a few times and it continues to happen. You think to yourself, why did this song right here become a #1 hit? And I tell you why. It's because the person or the people behind that song believed in it more than anything else. And all it took was for them to believe in it, and eventually the world started believing in it, and now it's running through your head, and now you're annoyed because you got this little tune in your head that you didn't even like in the first place. You think it's marketing. You think it's because the label pushes it. No, the label only got behind it and put money into it because somebody believed in it first. It has to be that way. This is universal principle, universal law. It works no other way. We attract what we are. Our lives are a direct reflection of how we believe we are or what we believe we deserve. Therefore, once you start to switch yourself into a state of self-belief, watch how your own vision start to manifest without the support of anybody around you, even those that you love most. Now, I appreciate you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel